Hi Scorpio, welcome to your April 2024 Astro Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. But remember, if you're only going to watch one, make sure it's for your ascendant because it's going to be that much more accurate for you on that day-to-day level. With that said, I use whole sign tropical Western astrology for those of you that would like to know. And remember, if I ever forget any of the transits or the date or whatever the case might be, if I don't mention it, you'll always find that stuff in the description box below. Remember to use your own discernment. They are general readings. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your the first transit that I want to look at for you is on the 2nd of the month. Mercury goes retrograde in your, Scorpio. Mercury is going to go retrograde in your 6th house, right? So this is this is a time likely where you are rethinking or redeciding how you are going to approach your work, how you're going to approach your physical health and vitality. It could also see you rehashing plans around work, employees if you have them, or even people that you have issues or challenges with. Because the 11th house is indicated here, remember Mercury rules Gemini, so it rules your 8th house, but it also rules your 11th house as well, right? This is via Mercury and the 8th house, so it's like there is a potential to mend a rift here, or at least get to the root of what the problem, the challenge, or the issue has been in a certain regard. I really like this for mending some sort of friendship, and it may be even as well taking time to turn an enemy or a competitor into an ally of some sort. So I actually really like this. Maybe not a partnership per se, but it could be like a tenuous sort of temporary Marvel team up, right? Like, you know, where you get those limited editions where people come back to, do you know what I mean? Like, where they get those, like, you know, so they come together for an episode or a couple of episodes and then they go their separate ways. I would be advised here, I would say to you as well to be advised, where there are financial considerations, where friends and money are concerned, this is not the time for it, all right? Do not cross those streams at this point, because there's a chance that it could get a little bit more gnarly than you would like. For this transit, you have the Hanged Man. So there is, right, look, with the Two of Swords and the Three of Wands. So the Hanged Man with the Two of Swords, there's a chance here that maybe somebody apologizes to you. This might be an apology that you feel like you have deserved or needed. It could even be an apology that you feel the need to give. Not from like a, do you know what I mean? It's not like a, oh, you know, you have to apologize. It's not that, but you might sort of see this as a strategic move to say, you know what, I'm going to give this apology because I feel like maybe this is what this person wants. And it kind of, it almost clears the air in some regard. Now you've also got the Three of Wands here, which means this whole idea of like it feels like this. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like a Marvel team up, right? You do this thing, you do it together, it's short, sharp, focused, and then you go on your merry ways. It's not like we're going to be tied to each other at the hip for the rest of, you know, our working lives or whatever the case might be. Either which way, I do feel like this could be an opportune moment, but it will take some navigation, all right? And as I say, when it comes to finances and friendships, this is not a time to mix those, all right? On the 8th of the month, you have a new moon solar eclipse in the same sign. So there's lunar as well. So we've got the moon and the sun. And obviously we've got the north node there as well. And Mercury will be doing his best as well. So this is a fresh start in your work life that happens to be possible now. But it will also be a fresh start with honouring and caring for your own physical health and vitality. This is the 6th house of your body and its care, right? This is the maintenance house. It's how you maintain all of the things that you have. Your body requires maintenance. The sun for you rules, so the sun rules Leo. Leo for you occupies that 10th house space of your career, your social status, the most visible public part or persona of you or of who you are. And the moon rules your higher wisdom and beliefs, right? So a new level of teaching, sharing wisdom could also be coming through at this time, maybe on a new platform or in a new arena. It's also because this eclipse is conjunct Chiron. So there's a powerful healing element to this that is profound. And it's almost like the writing of something when it comes to your health and even in your work life. So this could be that you're finding that magical point between a work-life balance, right? Maybe it has a massive impact on how you experience your day-to-day life as well. I really like this for a deeper connection to the cosmos and the spirit, but it comes through the dedication on that daily level. So maybe you start to build an actual tangible practice for tapping into your spirituality that not only brings profound healing to you, but it also brings a sense of continuity. And as a fixed sign, that's something that you really desire and need, right? As a fixed sign, you need continuity. I've noticed as well, like everyone always says like, oh, it's Virgos. Not always, right? When it comes to, you know, like the continuity mistakes in movies, like, oh, well, that was like that before. It's the fixed signs that often pick that stuff out because there's a gap, right? The fixed sign holds the season in place. It requires consistency, right? And so the fixed signs know what's out of place when there's a break in the continuity. It's something that I've noticed with my client work. They all have that kind of ability in some regard. So for this, you've got the Two of Cups. That's nice. With the Seven of Cups, okay. And the Nine of Pentacles. So the Two of Cups with the Seven of Cups, it's not necessarily about how many commitments and not commitments, how many one, collaborations, but two, work-based relationships you have. It's really about the quality of them. And for a lot of you, that sixth house, the sixth house is very Virgoan in a sense, and it's about stripping things back, right? And the Knight of Pentacles has that same element about it. This might be where you start to cull your environment, the food that you eat. You could start going through a really powerful overhaul of what you're eating, how you're living, your day-to-day practices, all of this stuff. You might start really refining this process right now, and that means getting rid of some stuff at the same time. So it's really, really like, I actually like this for you to see kind of how and where it could go from here. For your, not on top, underneath, on the next transit that I want to look at is Jupiter and Uranus. They finally finish flirting with each other and they get into it, right? This is a excuse me, I'm so sorry. This is a once in 14-year transit. And being a once in 14-year transit, it's a big deal on its own. But unless you're born on the day that this happens, this will never happen again in any of our lifetimes because it's a rare transit, right? So for that reason, pay attention to this one because it's going to be a big deal for the rest of your life. Now, I'm seeing this one as overly positive, but remember, Mercury is retrograde in the sky. So unless you were born under a Mercury retrograde, you need to keep that as a consideration. Personally, the way that I would use this is to set the intention, right? To push that stuff into the universal substance of all that is. Petition the heck out of these planets and say to them, right, this is what I want you to bring me. If there's anything you can bring me in my relationships, my partnerships, my significant others, personal, professional, and platonic, or even familial, if there's anything that I could ask Jupiter and Uranus for when they come together and make this big impact in my relationships, it would be this. Then, when Mercury goes direct, you can then start to move towards that thing that you've asked for in the real tangible world. This is a big deal, right? It could be a huge development in the life of a partner. So if you're partnered, your partner could be getting some kind of big promotion or opportunity, and that could be very good for both of you collectively. Jupiter is giving opportunities galore. Uranus is giving that sort of personal, or it's also making it happen potentially quite quick or in a way that is really unexpected, especially in a supportive angle at this time to Mars, right? It's in a sextile to Mars, and the sextiles do already provide opportunity. But the thing about a sextile is it has to be worked. It's not just going to show up for you and fall in your lap. You actually have to take the opportunity and do something with it. Because Jupiter is here, Jupiter for you rules your second house of money, finances, and resources, and it also rules your fifth house of joy, pleasure, creativity, and luck, romance, and blessing. So if you're single, maybe you meet a real wealthy partner, or potentially you meet a partner that you feel is an equal in some regard. If partnered already, the partner's money could potentially be getting a boost. Uranus rules your home and environment sector, right? So where you live, how you live there, who you live with, your deep emotional self, and also your past heritage, which might mean that the value of your house could shoot up really quickly. That's possible. I see this more of like winning things, right? So because the fifth house is implicated and Jupiter's here, which has a lot to do with luck. I will say, if there are any sort of competitions that you see at this time, absolutely enter. Especially if these center around like win this new washing machine, win this new fridge, any kind of home technology. If you see any kind of contest or competition around those things, enter it, because I'm telling you, I feel like this one could absolutely be the clincher for you. And if you can enter something as a joint, like as a couple or with another person, because it's all in the seventh house, this could also be very lucky for you as well. For this, you've got the Page of Swords, you've got the Eight of Wands, and you've got the 10 of Wands. So another way that this could also show up, it could be that through a partnership, you come into a space where you're able to release or let go of some kind of challenging experience around the relationship. It could also be that a financial burden, challenge, or issue actually comes full circle. It's almost like you get some kind of support on a financial level that you just don't expect, right? It just kind of comes out of the blue. This could be, let's say your partner's, I touch wood, I hope this isn't the case, but let's say a partner gets an inheritance, and in that same inheritance, they've left you something as well. It could be, maybe a partner gets a bonus at work and a part of that goes to you. Like, there's so many ways it could show up, but I think this could be really nice. Another way that this might show up with that Eight of Wands in tow as well, and the Page of Swords, you might get an official offer of a contract of some kind that really comes in what you would consider like the nick of time. So love it. I think this could be great. And then finally, where are you, Luna? Luna will be at 28 of Sag. Venus will be at 28 of Aries, and Mars and Neptune are coming into a conjunction in your fifth house of pleasure, joy, romance, creativity. Mars conjunct Neptune is the spiritual warrior that is willing to die for its beliefs, right? I will fight for what I believe and I will go right to the nth of it. And also, because Luna is in your second house, and this is obviously a square energy, there is some tension here around a financial matter, right? Now, you could be valuing your children more at this time if you've got them, because the fifth house is also children. Could also be a personal project of some kind. This will have a financial implication where something that you want to do, it's like you realize very quickly, okay, this is going to cost me way more than I expected. As there's a lot of Cancer energy in the air, so the 28th degree in astrology represents, it's a very Cancerian space. Cancer for you rules that 9th house, right? And so it's possible that this could be around some kind of study, some kind of learning, or some kind of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Some kind of belief structure or system as well. And with Luna in the second, it's like you're ready to do battle over something in your world that creates tension and frustrations or issues on a financial level. And it's something that you believe so strongly in that you're not willing to back down at all. Five of Wands, yeah, look, there's a conflict with this, right? With the 10 of Cups, which is beautiful. So this suggests that the way out is through, right? You're going to have to go through that battle or that challenge. And you've got this with the 7 of Swords. On a physical, visceral level, this would be a really good time to lock your doors and windows. It would be a really good time to fortify or strengthen your finances in some way, i.e. passwords, PIN codes, all of that stuff. Be very careful around this stuff at the time. And when it comes to your actual home, lock your windows and doors, right? The 3 days, in fact, the 2 days before, the day of, and the 2 days after, Be really careful and really hot on your values and your possessions. And for those of you that have children, their possessions and values as well, right? So their phones, their school bag, all of that kind of stuff. Be really hot on this at this time. And then finally, your lunations. So on the 8th, obviously we talked about the eclipse anyway, but let's have a look at what your Human Design Oracle deck card is. And for this, you've got the Gate 50 and Responsibility. And so, you know, the 6th house really is a responsibility place, right? Responsibility, maintenance, the things that we have to do to maintain the things that we want or desire or that we love. All sort of very much in the fore. Now, when it comes to your, the Gate 50 and Responsibility, it really is about understanding that it's not just about you. Sometimes you have to be responsible for things, you know, beyond yourself. And this might be one of those times. Especially if you've got pets, right? Because the 6th house is pets. It's, you know, smaller and or large. Well, the larger animals tends to be your 9th house, actually. But your 6th house is your pets, your dogs, your kittens, your guinea pigs, all of your fur babies, right? Like this could be that. Now, on the 23rd, on the 23rd of the month, we have the full moon in Scorpio in your sign. Your body, your mind, the focus of you is being lit up in a really powerful way. And this means it puts you in the spotlight in some regards. So if there's something that you want to launch, something that you want to share with the world, you are more visible at this time. So this could be a really good time to do it. And for this, look, you've got the Gate 49 and Revolution. The sort of funny thing about this is, right, your sign, the oldest trope of Scorpio is the Phoenix. And this card represents what in human design is known as the sleeping phoenix, right? There's some kind of big moment of change, transformation moving forward. And this isn't an eclipse, but it is a moment at which you will be illuminated. And I think maybe that there's something new that you want to share with the world, and this could be a really good time to do it. If you would like to get your personal Astro Tarot or any form of reading that I offer, you can do so on the link in the description box below. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.